everyone. Today we're in Willow Grove, which is located in West Gippsland in the state of Victoria, Australia. Now on the 15th of February 1963, a very interesting UFO case occurred not far from here, and we are presently standing at the property of the Brew family, who operated a dairy farm in this area. So join us as we unfurl what happened on that day. G'day folks, today we're out here at Willow Grove and I would like to welcome Trevor Brew. Thanks for being with us, Trevor.
That's no worries at all, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much. On the 15th of February 1963, in this beautiful location where we're standing, a most unusual event occurred for Trevor and his father, who were operating a dairy farm out here at the time. And we're standing here with Trevor in the actual location where an object appeared from the eastern sky, came down, hovered briefly over the hill just behind us here, and then it took off over to the hill over in this direction here. So it must have been the most unusual day.
It was, certainly, and the after effects were too, of all the publicity that followed, but
Yeah.
Unfortunately my dad saw it and I didn't.
And
so
you didn't? 'Cause
I heard it, but I didn't see it because I was in a built-up area of the shed sort of thing, and
Yeah.
naturally we were not expecting anything like that to happen.
No.
So,
And what was the weather like on that day?
the weather was very rainy,
Yeah.
not windy, but very heavy rain. Steady, not heavy, but very steady, yeah.
Yeah. And was the clouds quite low?
No, you didn't see clouds, it was just a lovely
Just
lot
a-
of rain.
Just a lovely lot of rain coming
a lovely
down.
lot of steady rain, yeah.
Yep. And how far into the milking were you on that day?
Oh, probably about halfway through.
About
or
halfway
nearly,
through?
Nearly halfway through, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what happened when... So just explain to us what happened.
Well, it would have been about probably, I'd got the cows in and it would have been about 7:30 in the morning. And in those days, we didn't have electricity down here, so we had a Lister engine, which was the diesel run, and the milk machines were run by batteries. Pulley belts and things like that, not batteries.
Yep.
And I was sitting up the blind end of the shed, doing what a man has to do, milking cows, and I was doing a heifer at the time, which, as anyone who's got that sort of experience will know, that they've got very smaller bags and very tight and small little teats. So I was holding the cups on her so that they wouldn't drop off, because if you lose too much air pressure, they'll just drop off.
Yep.
And she was new, so you had to sit there and hold them on for the first minute or two.
Yep.
And then I heard this noise and I thought, oh no, not another bloody, excuse the expression, not another pulley belts come off the drive, the drive wheel. And then of course all the cows at the same time bolted forward and nearly went right through the shed.
Wow. So would have been a shock.
Yeah, it was. And I thought, oh, what's going on here? And and you sort of heard the noise as it come down, like as if it was winding back at the end of its run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it sort of hovered there, as Dad's explained,
Yep.
for about 6 to 7 seconds, perhaps 8 or 9 seconds, something like that.
Yep.
And then it just took off in a northerly direction, and the power of it, just listening to it, was really phenomenal. And I don't know, I can't remember whether he explained that that's what it was straight away or whether he explained later on in the day. But all I wanted to do was finish the milk and get out of here.
Yeah.
But when I found out that that's what I'd missed out on,
Yeah.
I've been disappointed for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
That I didn't have enough sense to jump up and have a look.
To see it.
But I didn't expect to have a UFO, or call it what you like.
Hovering above the milk shed.
No, well, to me they would have been just not going to happen,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been a believer.
No. And your father, he wouldn't have been a believer either?
No, he's not. He wasn't.
No. What sort of a man was your father?
Very quiet
Very quiet?
and reserved,
Yep.
and certainly not one to make up stories.
No.
Yeah.
No. And he experienced a
I guess
headache.
it got a bit too much for him, and he had to ring up the Herald Sun, which, as far as we was concerned, was the worst thing that ever happened, because we had so many visitors and that. Yeah, they said he had a bit of a headache. Oh, but that might have been just stressed out, I don't know.
Stressed out, yeah, possibly, yeah.
Because you do get headaches when you get stressed out.
You do, yeah.
So whether that was...
Yeah.
I can't see how it would have given him a headache, but I don't, I don't know.
No. And so after it took off and it went away in that direction there,
Yeah.
did he come and see you, or did you go and see him?
No, we just continued milking, and he didn't say anything. And I can't remember, because we used to drive from here back home to have brekkie,
Yeah.
and which was a couple of k's away.
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything about it. The next thing I knew was that he'd rang up the Herald Sun and
Okay.
and
So he didn't discuss it with you
no,
at the time.
no,
You just got struck straight back into the milking,
yeah, we
get the
finished
cows
milking,
through,
yeah,
and then after that,
yeah,
gone home,
yeah.
and then he's rung the.
Well, yeah, that's the way I can remember.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that he didn't discuss it, but I can't remember him
That he actually.
that he did.
That he did discuss it.
And if he had,
Yeah.
I probably would have thought he's carrying on, you know. But when it took off like it did, it sort of left no doubts in my mind that it was something out of the usual, for sure.
So what did it sound like?
It sounded like an Aboriginal didgeridoo type noise,
Yep.
an air type concussion type noise.
Concussion type of sound.
Yeah, but that's how
Yeah.
it sort of took off. So whether it was powered that way or not, I don't know.
No.
But it certainly had a lot of power, and it was gone within about 5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Disappeared. And of course, I didn't even get up to see what it was then.
No.
Because I
So
didn't expect that's what it was.
well, there's been no reason to.
No, of course not.
No. But would you have described it as being as loud as a low-flying helicopter? Louder?
No, not
Just a
not
hum?
all that loud. Just yeah. It
Enough
was-
to get above the diesel engines for you to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's an unusual
yeah,
sound.
Yeah. But you know, like the Black Hawks and the helicopters, they make a lot of noise.
They do. Yes.
And I wouldn't say that it was
as
as
loud
as them.
as loud as
Except
that
when
sound.
it took off, it was just
Ye-
phenomenal. It was a phenomenal noise when it took off.
Okay. So as you said, it did power down, and then it
hovered
powered
down,
on.
and then when it realised, oh, what am I doing here? Or I've seen what I want to see, or whatever.
Yeah.
Off they went. Yeah.
Off they went. Yeah. No worries. And of course the stock went crazy.
They did.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I mean, they would have got a bird's eye view of it, sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And cattle are always anything like strange upsets them very, you know.
yeah, they spook easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
They would have forged forward 20 to 30 feet and then realised that they couldn't go no further.
And they've all
but they were
stopped.
very frightened. Yeah.
They were very frightened, and the dogs went quiet. And
The dogs seemed to go quiet for a week or two. Yeah.
yeah, were there horses here?
There was a horse here. Yeah, she was tied up
Was she?
in the yard,
Yep.
and I saw her rear up.
Yep. So she reacted.
Yeah, she didn't have a saddle on. I had ridden her bareback to get the cows in the morning,
Yep.
just the bridle.
Okay.
She's a good quiet horse, though. But
Yeah.
she reared up, and come back down again. But she didn't break the reins or anything like that. So
She didn't break the
she's,
reins. Yep.
if it had been my other horse, she would have went through the fence, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the better horse was there that day, so she
Okay.
behaved herself pretty well.
Okay, and I've also read that the stock were a bit unusual in the time after that as well.
Yeah, well, it was when it would have been when they were coming back past where it had been.
Yeah.
They were always sniffing and smelling and carrying on like they do.
Yeah.
Like if there's been another dead cow or something like that, they'll carry on until the smell goes, and that's what they were like.
So they were like behaving like that.
Oh, they weren't silly.
Yeah.
But you had to drive them past.
Had to drive them past.
Keep them moving, yeah.
Yeah, because the object was just over this hill here
That's
where we're
right.
standing.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
getting them to go past that area,
Was always a bit slower.
always a bit slower.
Yeah.
They were. Do you think they were maybe remembering it? Who knows?
They would do.
Yeah.
Animals are not silly, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they would have remembered
They would
that
have
was
remembered, yeah, what happened, yeah.
that was the case. Now, soon after the events, there was some official interest.
Oh, yes, there was.
Can you remember who came here?
Well, there would have been representatives of the Herald Sun and perhaps some other papers. There was also someone came out from England.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was or who he represented, but there was
Okay.
he had come out from England. Whether he was already out here or not, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a lot of UFO people around, naturally.
They did come out.
Oh,
didn't they?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because I did read that the CSIRO came here.
Oh, they probably did, yeah.
Yeah, and the RAF came, of course,
Yes,
as well, and
yeah.
they did a bit of an investigation
They
at the
would have
time.
done, yeah.
Yeah.
And throughout all the publicity that Mum and Dad got and letters that we got, there was only one cranky letter
Okay.
And we reckon we worked out who that was. It was from people we knew.
Ah.
And it said, oh, how big was it? Was it as big as an orange?
Yeah.
So obviously they didn't believe a word.
They didn't believe the story.
No, they wouldn't have believed the story.
And how about over the years? Since
Most people are very creditable in listening to it.
And listening to
I
it.
haven't had. I never go and tell people what happened. If someone approaches me,
Then you can talk
I'll
about
say,
it.
But no, most people, especially the last half dozen years or so, or 10 or 12 years,
Yeah.
are beginning to accept the fact that perhaps there is extra life out there.
Out there, yes. Yep. And on that particular day, they may have come in for a look at the Brew farm.
Well, it wasn't the Brew farm; it was the Kilpatrick farm.
The Kilpatrick farm.
But
yeah.
I don't know whether they came down by mistake or whether they were just having a look around. To me, as far as I would imagine, they'd be just having a look around. I don't believe that they'd lost their way or anything like that.
No.
They're too good to be losing their way.
It was pretty precise in what it did too, wasn't it?
Came down, had a bit of a look, hovered for a while,
Yep.
and then took off. So
basically, it had a look, and then it went off over that direction there.
That's right, over the sort of northeast.
Yeah.
Is it northeast?
Northwest in that direction.
Northwest, right. Yeah.
So your father, over the years, did he have much to say about it after that, or did it play on his mind at all?
No. He wasn't a publicity person.
Yep.
He told what he knew, and Mum and Dad went to a few UFO meetings.
They did, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
But I think they got a little bit sick of them after a while.
Fair enough too.
Because there was a fair bit of religion in it, apparently.
Yeah, there's that aspect.
So they sort of decided that they weren't going to go anymore. They would have went to half a dozen meetings, and they were invited to go, of course.
Yeah.
And,
Did you or your father see anything else at all over the years, or that was basically the main, which was pretty good.
That's it.
Main
That's
event.
It. There's nothing else.
There's nothing else occur.
No other stories.
No other stories. Have you heard of any other stories around this area?
Oh yes.
There have been other stories in the
yes,
area.
Yes.
That is always very interesting.
Yes, it apparently had been seen.
Yep.
By someone else on that day.
Someone else on the day.
Yes.
Was it another farmer around here?
It was a local identity, apparently.
Yeah.
And I know his surname, but I wouldn't.
No, that's fine. You don't have to say it.
And he may not be around anymore anyway.
Okay.
So it was either seen that day or in that week, or probably would have been the same day.
Okay. And would he have been at Willow Grove, or would he have been Hill End, or?
It would have been Willow Grove area.
Willow Grove area.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was another sighting. You don't know what time of day or anything like that at all?
No, I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, that's very interesting, because I never knew that there was any supporting people.
He wouldn't have
come forward with it.
No.
Oh, well, that's fully understandable too.
Yeah.
You know, so that's quite reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, that's apparently it was seen on that particular day by someone else.
By someone else as well.
But he's kept quiet about it, so whether he was smart or not, I don't know. In those days you would have, especially, I believe that if it was seen again today, anyone would say, yes, we definitely saw it,
Definitely.
The trouble is, it was only seen by one person, which is...
That is a problem. Yeah. It limits I suppose the impact of the experience.
That's right. Yeah.
But you said your father was a very level-headed man.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't have been. There's no known way he would have been making up a story.
No.
And he wasn't, because I can back it up. I heard it and I know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. No
It
worries.
certainly wasn't what do they call them? A wind.
Yeah.
What do they call those things?
It was no helicopter, gyrocopter,
No.
aeroplane.
No.
The explanation was that it was a tornado.
Oh no.
A weather event.
Well, didn't knock any buildings down, or no trees were all still standing. It wasn't a tornado either, no. And it wasn't a wind thing either. But those things that they put up there, CSIRO or whatever those. Weather
balloons.
Yeah, no, it wasn't one of them.
Yeah, so it wasn't a weather balloon, it wasn't a plane.
No, it was something that...
It was something unusual.
It was something that...
Shouldn't have been there.
Shouldn't have been there, yeah.
Absolutely shouldn't have been there. So, well, thank you very much for your time today, Trevor.
No worries,
it's
pleasure.
really good, and we'll have a bit more of a walk around, and we'll shoot some more footage for you of the actual location, so you'll get a good look at it. And Trevor might give us a bit of a walk through on some of the other aspects of the day.
Yeah, we might think of some more to add to it.
Yeah.
I've probably got some more in the back of my mind, but it has been 52 years.
No worries. Thank you.
No worries. Those ones.
Yep.
That wasn't down there, it was here.
So in here,
That's all gone.
okay, so in here, this area here, there were large rocks, and they've come and they've extracted those rocks.
Well, whether someone took them for garden beds or
Oh,
whatever, I don't know.
It could have been, yeah.
Whether it was taken for another reason, I don't know.
There's another possibility as well.
They were here when we left the farm.
They were,
Yeah.
yep. Okay,
Yeah.
that's very interesting to know that was. And you said there was a meteorite that was extracted from
Well,
here, not necessarily around the event.
We don't know whether it had anything to do with the unidentified object or not.
No.
And we don't for sure know whether it was a meteorite or not, but someone said that it was.
It
So
was a
whether
meteorite,
it
yep.
had- And it had landed in there.
Yep.
But whether that's feasible or not, I don't know. Whether that was actually a meteorite or not, I don't know.
No. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So.
Yeah, it is, but
Yeah.
I don't believe that it had anything to do with the UFO.
With the UFO itself.
No, I don't believe it did.
Just another
coincidence. I would say,
coincidence.
yeah.
So in this
Yeah,
area
I
here where
don't
we're
know.
standing, people, right here up to a maximum height of about 30 feet, this is where the object was hovering for some up to 10 seconds that Charles saw, and then it disappeared out over the mountain, which is just off here that we're panning around to now, and then it was gone. And Trevor didn't have the opportunity to see it because it was here and it disappeared in next to no time at all.
And Trevor didn't realise what it was
And Trevor didn't realise what it was as well, so
at that time.
yeah. So yeah, very interesting. So,
Trevor was only a young 20-year-old and he did not expect to see UFOs
no,
or even hear them.
or even here. That's right. You just wouldn't expect that at all.
No.
It's just beyond anyone's wildest thoughts
Yes.
that something like that would actually appear. So no, it's always good to stand in these locations to see, when you've read about the cases, to come and have a look, and you'll know exactly where.
One day we might know more.
One day we might, mightn't we?
Yes. I hope so. I hope it's before I go.
Yeah. It might sort of.
But if I don't, will you send me a letter or something?
I will.
Let's say, Trevor, it's been
We found out
justified that they are around.
they are around. It has actually occurred.